In 2016, the Philippines faced a pivotal moment in its history. The nation was gripped by a rising drug epidemic, with shabu, or crystal meth, poisoning communities. Crime, fear, and addiction were rampant, leaving families devastated and streets unsafe. Enter Rodrigo Duterte, a strong-willed mayor from Davao City, who made an audacious promise during his presidential campaign to rid the Philippines of illegal drugs within 6 months. With his tough-talking demeanor and no-nonsense approach, Duterte quickly gained the trust and hope of millions who believed he could bring the peace and order the country desperately needed. Before Duterte's presidency, the Philippines was under siege, not from an outside enemy, but from within. The drug crisis had spiraled out of control, with an estimated 4 million Filipinos addicted to illegal substances. Shabu laboratories operated openly, fueling a surge in crime that terrorized communities. Families lived in fear, not knowing if their loved ones would fall victim to drug violence. The nation cried out for change, desperate for someone to take bold action. This was the reality that set the stage for a campaign that would change the course of Philippine history. Duterte wasted no time in fulfilling his promise. Within days of taking office, he launched Oplan Tokhang, a grassroots initiative aimed at confronting drug suspects directly. Police officers, in a combination of firmness and humanity, knocked on doors to urge suspects to surrender. The word Tokhang, derived from Visayan terms meaning knock and plead, underscored the campaign's initial approach. Over 1 million Filipinos voluntarily surrendered, seeking rehabilitation or redemption. For many, it marked the start of a new chapter, but for others, it was the beginning of a controversial and polarizing era. As the war on drugs intensified, so did the operations on the ground. Police forces targeted known drug dens and high-profile syndicates, dismantling operations that had thrived for years. Raids became a daily headline, with images of confiscated drugs and captured gang leaders dominating the news. However, these actions were not without risks. Officers faced ambushes and communities were caught in the crossfire. The campaign was swift and relentless, symbolized by the staggering amount of illegal drugs seized and the message sent to those who defied the law. The government was serious about its mission. The success of the campaign was met with increasing scrutiny from both local and international communities. Reports of extrajudicial killings sparked outrage, with human rights organizations raising questions about accountability and due process. International media painted Duterte as a strongman whose tactics bordered on authoritarianism. Yet, Duterte's response was unapologetic, emphasizing the need for decisive action to protect law-abiding citizens. The Philippines found itself under the global spotlight, with debates raging over whether the ends justified the means. In the midst of controversy, the voices of ordinary Filipinos painted a mixed picture of the campaign's impact. Some praised Duterte for making their streets safer, allowing children to play without fear. Others, however, shared heartbreaking stories of loved ones lost in raids or mistaken identity cases. The war on drugs was not just a national issue, it was deeply personal, affecting every corner of society. It revealed the complex reality of addressing a problem as deeply rooted as the drug crisis. With victories came sacrifices. Crime rates dropped significantly, and communities once plagued by fear began to breathe again. But the cost was undeniable. Thousands of lives were lost, and the thin line between justice and abuse of power became a focal point of national debates. The campaign forced Filipinos to grapple with difficult questions. How much are we willing to sacrifice for peace? And what defines true justice in a society longing for safety? As Duterte's term neared its end, the legacy of the war on drugs remained a subject of intense discussion. For some, it was a necessary and courageous move that saved the nation from destruction. For others, it was a cautionary tale about the risks of unchecked power. Regardless of perspective, the campaign reshaped the Philippines' approach to governance, crime, and human rights, leaving lessons for future leaders and generations to come. The war on drugs is far from over. As new leaders step up, they face the challenge of addressing the roots of the drug problem while ensuring justice and compassion. The story of the war on drugs is a reminder that progress requires difficult choices, but those choices must always uphold the dignity and humanity of every person. The path forward is not just about laws and policies, it's about... Now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about Duterte's war on drugs? Was it a necessary step or did it go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more stories that matter. Together, let's continue the conversation and learn from our collective journey.